Hey, so in 2010, this kid made a video saying that 2 days ago he'd gotten accepted into NCSSM. All right, and he went on to make this vlog series called Inside NCSSM with his friends and such. And it was just kind of, I guess, an inside look at what was going on inside the school from a student's perspective, explaining things like mixers, IMs, varsity sports. So I figured times have changed. I'll go ahead and update it, all right, to the best of my ability. I did not get into NCSSM recently. In fact, I graduated. I have this shirt to prove it, and also this uncomfortable hat and a diploma. Mainly the shirt. Now, his first video, if I remember correctly, the title was Mixers. No. It was Friends, IMs, the Digs, Mixers, and the Likes. I don't know what the digs are. Maybe times have changed so much that they don't exist. Maybe I wasn't cool enough to know what the digs were. No. So I'm just going to focus on three things here. IMs, friends, and mixers, okay, for this first one. So let's start with mixers. Now, mixers are kind of interesting because they're like sub dances, all right? Because it's a high school, so of course you have prom and you have semi-formal. But the mixers, and the Halloween dance. But mixers are like dances that halls will throw or clubs will throw. And they'll be every few weekends usually, and they'll have a theme, maybe Hawaiian shirt, it could be ice cream, it could really be anything. And they'll be held in something, either the Woolworths room, which is in the ground floor of the ETC, or it could be held in Hunt Classroom. At least it was in my junior year, but Hunt Classroom is now used for classes, ironically. So, with mixers, you go, it's not really something you ask a date to. It's just you go, you hang out with your friends, you have a good time, listen to music, have some ice cream maybe, and hang out. And they're not required in any way. They're going to happen on a weekend. So you can go, leave at your own discretion, have fun, or maybe you want to go hang out elsewhere on campus. Hang in your room, hang with friends, go sit in Bryan Lobby, go meander the halls. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to go, you can go. Next, let's cover IMs. Now, IM stands for intramurals, and basically those are sports that you don't have to be on a team to play. But a lot of the IMs work so that if you are on a varsity team during the IM season, you cannot play on the IMs, partially, actually mainly because they don't want you injuring yourself and not being able to play on the team. But sometimes that's a little wishy-washy. You'll just have to see for yourself how it is in your year. But IMs, there's IMs for most sports, actually. We have ultimate frisbee, we have soccer, we have basketball, we have volleyball. We have it all, okay? And there's going to be 2 or 3 IMs per season, fall, winter, and spring. And they're done by hall, okay? So First Hunt, I think we've been the IM champions for maybe 6 or 7 years. I lived on First Hunt myself, but feel free to take the throne from us. And it's going to work. There's going to be a boys IM champions and a girls IM champions. And if I remember correctly, then just one of them gets to come out on top. And you get a trophy. And you don't get to keep the trophy. You get your name engraved on said trophy. And you get to keep it on your hall for the year until it has to be shifted to another hall. And you get a cool t-shirt. Not this one, but you get a IM champs t-shirt. So those are how IMs work. And usually halls will have captains. They'll be at a hall meeting and they'll say, hey, we have an IM coming up. Who wants to be the captain? And a kid or another kid will raise their hand. Maybe they'll be co-captains. And they'll have practice a few times a week. And they'll get an updated list of the rankings, has captains, and they will play against their halls. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. And they're a lot of fun, okay? Participation is key. It's the most major key there is, okay? People can win IMs. Halls can win IMs without winning the game. If they have enough participation, they can come out on top, and that's pretty cool. It's more about getting people involved and making people feel welcome, all right? So make sure you encourage your hallmates to play IMs. Make sure you do it yourself. And finally, let's go on to friends, all right? Now, you're going to live here. Not here. I'm not at the school right now. You're going to live at the school for 2 years of your life, all right? And a lot of you are going to be far away from home. Some of you live in Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill area. Some of you live in Asheville. Some of you live in Wake Forest. Some of you live in towns I haven't heard of. May never hear of. And that's all right, all right? Now, I myself, I don't come from a very rural part of North Carolina. I come from Greensboro. So I'm not exactly really, I'm not in the triangle, but I'm also not far out in the backwoods. I'm kind of right there in the middle. And the friends I've made are probably the best friends I've made in life so far. Some of them definitely are. So one of the greatest things was I ended up living with one of my best friends, which was a blessing, but it was weird how it panned out. So there was a kid who lived with me for 3 weeks. Then he decided the school wasn't for him. Okay. And this may seem like a revolutionary choice, but it's not. Okay. Think of the school maybe like a pressure cooker. All right. And some kids are beef and some kids are mac and cheese, both of which are fantastic dishes, but you don't really make mac and cheese in the pressure cooker, if that makes any sense. But you can still turn out just as fine in your home dish. Now, he decided that he wasn't feeling it there. And he went home and he went on to be valedictorian of the school. He ended up happy. And then a new roommate came in about 3.5 weeks into the school year. And when I first met him, I thought, man, this guy he's kind of a stick in the mud. Seems uptight. Best friend. One of the best friends I've ever made. All right. And he's going to MIT now, and I'm headed to Boston University. So it's cool that we get to be like 10 minutes away from each other. If I wanted to, I can bike over and see him. And that's fantastic. And I chose to live with him next year. So if you're living with somebody, you can definitely choose to live with them next year. And you can also definitely choose to keep your room. All right. If you want to switch, that's a whole raffle process. And we'll probably cover that in another video. So these friends, it's cool because you're living with them. All right. You're never without your friends. If they're sick, you'll probably still see them at school. All right. And you're not too far from your classes. The farthest any room is from any classes, probably maybe 6 minutes walk. 5 minutes is what you have in between classes if you needed to go between class and class, but you can have hours between classes, all right? Because everybody's schedule is going to be pretty different. Well, not everybody's, but you'll see how it pans out. I'll cover that later. These friends are fantastic. And if I look on my phone right now, all right, I am texting just out of the most recent people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it looks like about out of the past 12 people I've texted, 10 of them are from NCSSM because these people rock. Okay. A lot of the kids are going to be fantastic kids because when I went there, I thought, I'm not really I wouldn't consider myself a high-end student. I mean, I got into the school, but I would never consider myself, top of the top. I didn't feel like a big fish in a little pond. It felt like an average-sized fish in an average-sized pond that just happened to be good at some schoolwork, all right? And I thought, man, when I get to the school, everybody's going to be so different from me. They're all going to be nerds, nobody's going to be able to relate to what I've been through in life, all right? And you'd be shocked. Because you go there, and you're learning about people as people because you don't see them drive up in a Lexus or a BMW or a 1994 Subaru Outback, all right? You can't tell where people come from. You can't tell if this person lives in a trailer or if they live in a mansion. Things like that don't really matter as much, okay? Not that they should matter, but it's very different from a typical high school setting. People get to know the people. And people only know where you come from when you describe it vividly. I could say I come from Greensboro, but that could mean anywhere in Greensboro, So you're gonna make some great friends, and some of them are gonna go to the same college as you, and some of them aren't. But it's gonna be okay because you're gonna stay in contact with them through the social network, and I will cover that in the next video. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Hit me up on Facebook. If you are headed to NCSSM soon, you can find me. I'm an alumni. And yeah, catch you next time.